Well, good evening. Nice to be with you again, isn't it, Ron?
Isn't it? More than 100 policemen searching for stolen jewellery have been dragging Staines Reservoir all day. At 6 o'clock tonight, they gave up. Said as police spokesman, we dragged it as far as Tower Bridge and it fell in the river.
The Industrial Relations Board is investigating complaints at a works canteen in Solihull. Apparently, the food is so bad that the men are striking for shorter dinner breaks.
And an executive with a toothpaste manufacturing company was divorced by his wife today on the grounds of cruelty. She claimed he kept squeezing her at the wrong end.
And at Pinewood today, a stuntman fell 60 feet and landed on Raquel Welch. His condition is described as extremely comfortable.
While in London today, there was a mix-up between a protest march of steeplejacks and a demonstration given by organ grinders. Police arrested 12 men for grinding steeples and 17 men for jacking organs.
There was a record number of births in Kilburn this week. Apparently, it was all due to the Irish sweep, but he's now moved to Camden Town.
Thieves broke into the house of Mr. Harold Wilson last night. Mr. Wilson said the men had taken much valuable property, but in a sense, nothing at all. He said the objects taken were of great sentimental value, or to put it another way, of no value whatsoever. He later said that even if his house had been broken into, this did not necessarily mean that a break-in had taken place. He later left the police station by the front and back doors.
And in the Beaujolais district of France this week, a grape treader was sacked by his vineyard for sitting down on the job.
What a terrible vintage that must have been. Following the statement of Adam Faith that he will no longer play the role of Budgie because he doesn't wish to be typecast, Christopher Plummer will play no more plumbers, Stanley Baker will play no more bakers, and Peter O'Toole is giving up the business altogether.
And now, a sketch.
Yes, in this sketch there are 3 hidden objects. See if you can spot them. They are a pair of scissors, a ball of string, and Ronnie Corbett.
George Harris, good heavens.
Hello, Arthur.
Hi. I haven't seen you for ages. Been hearing a lot about you, though.
Oh, good.
Still, I suppose one shouldn't believe everything one hears.
What? What have you been hearing about me?
Oh, nothing. One just has to be a little careful who one listens to, I suppose. It's only...
You've been hearing rumours about me or something?
No, not a word, not a bit. Disgusting, I call it.
You have been hearing rumours about me?
No, I just heard a rumour that there had been rumours.
What rumours?
Well, that you know, that you lead, a fool life. That you and your wife, and friends, and their wife, get together and have fun.
What, me? Me go in for all that, you know?
Well, I said no, not George. Goodness me, not George. That's a good one, I said. George, I said, too moral to swap a stamp.
Oh, good. Because I had been thinking it would be rather nice if you and your wife would come round one evening.
I'm afraid I've forgot my diary. No, I mean, I've got my diary, and I'm afraid we shan't be able to make that, because, just looking in here, tomorrow evening we're having dinner with the full moons, and the next night, blast it, we've got lighting up time. Then I'm afraid we're chock-a-block full right up to the London Underground map.
But I wouldn't want to spoil your dinner with the full moon, I'm sure.
I mean, don't think we don't want to come. God, we want to come.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. It's just
a top-up.
Oh, thanks very much. Yes. It's just unfortunate and rotten bad luck that you've got lighting up time, I suppose.
Absolutely rotten, yes.
Yes. I say, isn't that your wife over there?
No, that isn't her. That's someone else.
Hello, darling.
Oh, that one. Yes, that one is my wife. Yes, that is. I thought you meant the standard lamp. No. That's silly of me. It couldn't be, no.
She's very attractive, isn't she?
Isn't she? Yes, isn't she?
Yes, very attractive.
Isn't she? Yes.
My word, very, very, very attractive. Yes. Woof. What? Woof.
Isn't she? Yes. Well, she's not actually. She's quite plain, really, and rather frumpy.
You do,
What?
don't you?
What?
You do think I'm trying to get you and your wife to, and you know.
Oh, goodness me, surely you don't think, goodness me, you don't think I'm that, surely. Any more than I think that you're that. No.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you don't go out to dinner with anyone anymore.
Oh, we do that. Oh, yes, we do that. It's just that we don't do the other.
Well, look, why don't you come round tonight, bring your wife, and we can all get together for a bite?
Well, I don't think so, because my wife's got something in the oven.
Oh, really? I say, congratulations. Doesn't show, does it?
No, not that oven, the other oven, the electric oven.
You know, it's funny. Back there, when you said about, that you don't,
Yes.
I began to believe that what they're all saying about you might be true.
Absolutely. What?
Oh, nothing.
No, what?
No, I don't believe a word of it. No.
Believe what?
No, I stood up for you, Arthur. Oh, yes, I said, how can he be? How can he be, I said. He's married. What? Married. I mean, you're married. I mean, I know a lot of them are married, but, you're not. You are married, but you're not one of them. One of them. You're not one of them. Or one of them, I suppose. No, what I mean is, you've got 3 children, haven't you? And then some of them have 4 or 5 children. It's nothing... put it this way. How are the roses?
Surely you don't think I'm, that, any more than I think that you're, that.
No, I don't. No, of course I don't. No. Never entered my head.
Oh, good, because it's been nice meeting you like this, We used to be such good friends. I don't really know why we don't see more of each other than we probably used to.
What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
Oh, come on. Surely you don't think that I'm, any more than I think that you're, it's all a lot of
Yes, I'm sorry, of course it is. Yes, you can put your arm around me if you like.
No, it's, thank you very much, but, it's all right.
All right.
It's silly listening to all these rumours, isn't it, really?
Drop more. Yes, nothing in them. Yes, thanks very much. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's stupid, really.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But if you are thinking of doing any wife swapping, can we join in?
Of course you can, you old puff. When do you see us?
Some sleepless night, if you should find yourself alone, let me be the one you run to, let me be the one you come to when you need someone to turn to. Let me be the one when things go wrong and this whole world's turned upside down. Let me be the one you run to, let me be the one you come to when you need someone to turn to. Let me be the one for love and understanding, to find a quiet place for silent understanding, a loving touch. Come to me when things go wrong and there's no light to lead the way. Let me be the one you run to, let me be the one you come to when you need someone to turn to. Let me be the one. Let me be the one you run to, let me be the one you come to when you need someone to turn to. Let me be the one. Let me be the one you run to, let me be the one you come to. Let me be the one you run to, let me be the one you come to when you need someone to turn to. Let me be the one.
As all the other teachers have got hay fever, and as so many of the students are on holiday, we've got all the classes together tonight. And I'm going to speak to you about mathematics and cooking and physical training, and the highway code with particular application to weightlifting for expectant mothers. Bonsoir. Now, there's nothing very difficult about French, German, Dutch, or Italian, so let's get straight on with making the pancake. Now, take the eggs, les œufs, and break into a bowl, or in case you're a music student, of course, you break into a song. Now, this here is an egg whisk, or for German students, this is eine egg whisk, and for the weightlifters, now, we take some flour, plain flour for the weightlifters, and for the rest of you, self-raising. We pour the flour into the bowl like that, and arrange the other 3 packets in a row, just like that. So much for flour arrangement. Now, a table, and for the mathematicians, a log table, and for the carpenters, split the logs down the middle and add salt to taste, and the pancake is ready. And if you've got one in the oven, good luck to you. Now, here are some completed pancakes, and as I understand from the principal, we've got a load of old cobblers in here tonight, I have brought along a shoe. Now, how to sole a shoe? First, apply a little treacle to the shoe like that, spread over the sole of the shoe like that, and then place the pancake on the shoe like that, and cut round the side like that. There we are. That's the way to do it. Voila, caput, oh mamma mia, oh sole mio. Well, that seems to fit, and talking about how to keep fit, here's how to crack nuts. Now, you take your nuts there, and you place your nuts behind your knees, like so. Your knees bend, oh, like that, and you sprinkle the tasty kernel, the colonel, the Oberleutnant, over the pancake, or the casserole, the gâteau. And so, or in other words, und so, we toss the pancake, calculating the wind speed in miles per hour, like that. Oh, merde, Domkopf, Schwinkelpopf, or bother. So we take the baby in the left hand, and the napkin in the right hand, and with the other hand we wrap it round carefully like this, taking great care not to stick the pin through the handle. So we can now say with Dr. Spock, what a beautiful frying pan you have there. It takes after his mother, or in this case his father. And so, in conclusion, I think I've got hay fever as well. Tissue, or in French, shoe, in German, Achtung Schuh, in Japanese, shoe.
Malone, the fact detective, and his tireless assistant, Charlie Farley, were in a tight corner. Murders were coming at them thick and fast. First the lady on Hampstead Heath, then the professor, and now the 2 old ladies blown up in the lavatory. Who was next for the chop? Was it Malone himself?
No, I'm mistaken, Kidney Pie. He's the chop. Thank you.
Thank you. That'll be all, Pack. What news of Dr. Grist? Have you questioned him?
No, he hasn't returned yet. He was last seen leaving the house about an hour ago, probably on a call. What did you discover about the professor's death?
Well, whoever stuck that knife in his back was a much-travelled man.
How do you know?
It said British Railways on the handle.
Surely, if he was a doctor, he wouldn't use a British Railways knife. He'd use a scalpel.
Yes, my God, you need one with that railway's foot. I had a meal the other day going up to Birmingham and...
To kill the professor with. What? The scalpel.
Exactly. Could have given the old ladies arsenic.
With a scalpel, I mean.
In the bottle.
No. Well, if you come on full, the doctor obviously had a lot to answer for. And while the 2 detectives stuffed their faces, the doctor himself was going about his normal duties in the village.
Say ah. Again?
Goodbye.
Yes, see. Well, I'm afraid, my dear, there's not an awful lot I can do for you. What you really need is a good chiropodist.
Thank you, Doctor.
Now, you can get up, keep off fatty foods, cakes, and sofas. Now, I'll see you next week. Or I may pop round tonight. Answer that, it may return.
Brimstone 99.
Again?
Brimstone 99. Yes, he's here.
It's for you, Doctor.
Hello? Oh, I'll answer it later. I must get back to the Grange. I have a feeling that all is not well there. Goodbye.
Hello? Did the doctor have some strange premonition that Malone wished to question him? If so, he was wrong. Malone and Charlie weren't even within a mile of the Grange. They were on the golf course. Sherlock Holmes, when he wanted to think or relax, played the violin. The large economy-sized Malone had tried this, but had been advised to give it up by a leading heart specialist who lived in the flat above. So he had taken up golf, and now, whenever he had a tough assignment, he would play a few holes. And Charlie was an enthusiastic spectator, knowing, as he did, that in the strange half-world of murder and suspense which Malone inhabited, golf was the one thing that kept him from going mad. Charlie, too, enjoyed the game, and though not in the same class as Malone, still contrived to give his overweight boss a run for his money. But the evil presence of the Grange was nevertheless still at hand. The gardeners, ever watchful, lurked behind every bush, silent, primitive, and by all accounts, for the most part, completely insane. But even as another crow fell victim to Malone's deadly inaccuracy, the beautifully busty bulk of Blanche Brimston was approaching the two second-rate detectives with all the grace and erotic charm of a petrol advertisement. But Malone's triumph was short-lived. Once again, Blanche Brimston brought him down to earth.
It's the doctor.
Doctor?
The doctor at the Grange, Dr. Grist. He's ill. Pike found him half an hour ago.
Where?
Outside the garage. He was in a coma.
I hate those rotten Italian cars.
He fainted, you fool. Come on, let's go. Where is he now?
Pike said he ought not to be moved, but the ground was so damp. So I put him in my bed. I thought he'd be more comfortable in familiar surroundings. They'll probably be there before me. This horse is so damn slow.
Superbly streamlined Blanche who reached the house first. Closely followed by an exhausted, overweight detective and a tired-out, tireless assistant. I don't like the look of him.
No, ugly, isn't he?
Wait outside the door, would you, Charlotte? Keep guard. Why'd you smile him?
I don't know. He was like that when I found him.
No? What's this?
What's what?
Note pinned to his pajama trousers. Don't weep for me. I died of love.
So he's dead?
Certainly. He admits it. Was he a lonely man?
Oh, no. He had loads of friends. Mostly women.
I see. So when he says he died of love, he doesn't mean not enough love.
On the contrary, he probably means too much of it.
Lucky swine. No wonder he's smiling. Here, just a minute. He's wearing my pyjamas.
Yes, well, it was all I could find.
Aha. So how did this note get there, then? You must have pinned it there yourself. Listen, what's been going on with you and the doctor, eh, Miss Brimston? What really went on? Did he really die of love?
You're sure you want to know? Very well. I'll show you.
What are you doing? Look, you don't have to go that far. I mean... What are you... Here, get off. Oh! Oh! Ow! Oh!
Was Blanche the killer? Had Malone bitten off more than he could chew? What was worse, had he brought another pair of pajamas? Or would Blanche creep into his bedroom and do for him what she had done for the doctor? One thing was certain. There would be very little sleep for Malone that night.
Excuse me for interrupting you.
Yes, yes.
This doctor, I've not been to him before. Is he a specialist?
Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Yes, he specializes in everything. Yes.
Oh, really? Tell me, is he expensive?
Well, he is and he isn't, you know. I mean, he charges you 100 guineas for your first visit.
100 guineas?
Yes, yes, but after that, all your other visits are free. Forever.
What you mean, no matter how many times you come and see him, he doesn't charge you a penny?
No, not after the first time, no.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Mr. Greenbaum, please.
Oh, thank you very much. Hello, Doctor. Here I am again.
I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. I saw the flickering shadows of love on her blind. She was my woman, and she deceived me. I watched and went out of my mind. My Delilah. Why, Delilah? I could see that girl was no good for me, but I was lost like a slave that no man could free. At break of day when that man drove away, I was waiting. I crossed the street to her house and she opened the door. She stood there laughing. I felt the knife in my hand and she left no more. My Delilah. Why, Delilah? So before they come to break down the door, forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take anymore. She stood there laughing. I felt the knife in my hand and she left no more. My Delilah. Why, Delilah? So before they come to break down the door, forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take anymore. Forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take anymore.
Thank you, George and Alan. Well, tonight I was going to play this, the violin. Actually, this is a very beautiful thing. It's
It's an old gypsy violin, this, made by the gypsies out of old clothes pegs. No, they say it brings you luck, you know, if you drop money into a gypsy violin. So one of the attendants will pass it round during the next sketch. This is I don't know whether to whip it or play it. This is actually a lovely instrument, this, and it was given to me by my grandfather, Gladys Corbett. He worked for 20 years in a hormone factory. And I'll never forget the day he gave me this. I mean, he looked up to me and he said, "Ron." No, he was really tiny, my granddad, really tiny. He was one of the few people who'd ever been up a vacuum cleaner. And I'll never forget his face. I'll never forget his face. He was a lot younger then, and he bore an amazing resemblance to Shirley Temple. Anyway, he looked up to me. He looked up to me, and he said something which led me to suspect, rather than spect. He very led me to suspect anything, but he did very often lead me to suspect things. He said something which led me to suspect that he knew very little about music. Or, for that matter, elocution. No, he led me to suspect that he knew, and he handed it down to me. Now, he led me to suspect that he knew very little about music. He said to me, "I'm going to give you this as a present. Look what I've got for you," he said, "a piano." So for years after that, I didn't know I couldn't play the violin. I thought I couldn't play the piano. Now, by the way, if any of this is confusing, you stop me and I'll start again. Now, I started to learn this. I learned, actually, the violin, believe it or not, by correspondence course. I had 100 lessons, but I only ever actually received the first 2. Now, I'm not accusing anybody, but it's rather strange that our postman is now working under the name of Yehudi Menuhin. And it's very suspicious that Yehudi Menuhin can play every classical violin piece ever written, but he can't play... because that was the first 2 lessons. Now, you listen to him sometime. Absolutely faultless he is, until he comes to... then he goes to pieces. Now, after all this hard work, after all the hard work I put into practicing the violin, I had to give it up in the end, because I was getting the terrible ringing in my ears. And let's face it, this is bad enough, but when you get the ringing in your ears at the same time, it's bloody awful. Now, ring, 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 it used to go. I used to wake my wife up in the middle of the night and say, "Go downstairs and answer the phone," and she used to get very upset because we lived in a bungalow at the time. She used to jump out of the bed and go to run downstairs and bang her face on the floor. So I went to see our local doctor. Now, he's a great character, this local doctor, straight out of Dr. Finley's casebook. He dresses like Barbara Mullin. So I told him about this ringing in my ears, and he said, "Oh, I don't think it's any serious. I don't think it's anything to worry about." He said, "But if it starts spreading, let me know." So as chance would have it, that's the second time Fife Robertson's been on tonight. No, as chance would have it, the very next day, I happened to go into one of the shops round about here to buy some new clothes. Well, for goodness sake, you can't walk about like this all the time. So I went over to the shirt counter and I said, excuse me. Well, actually, I tell a lie, I didn't have the violin, so I didn't have it. I gesture with a bare hand. Excuse me, I'd like to buy some shirts. Perhaps he'd have come quicker if I'd gone, excuse me. I said, excuse me, laughing, it's the first time I've heard that bit. Hand's been out there a rather long time. Excuse me, I said, I'd like to buy some shirts. And he said, and this is the exciting bit, he said, "Yes, sir, a 15 neck?" I said, "No, 14.5. He said, "No, sir, I'm sorry, you're a 15 neck. I said, "I'm a 14.5 and always have been." He said, "You get ringing in the ears?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You want a 15 neck?"
Throughout theatrical history, there have been many different versions of Bizet's famous opera, Carmen. The Hot Carmen, the Rock Carmen, Carmen Jones, and now, the ultimate version, the Cockney Carmen. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Tooting Carmen.
All over walking when you're out busy shopping, when you're gaily chopping down the street. Guys can be feeling when you're out busy feeling, though the job can be hard on the feet. Life's very blessed, and be far on the coast, and the blurs with each place before we meet. Jokes will be swapping with the proud folk, walking like a chat, and just down below.
I'm an advertising executive, and this is my board of trade. When you need some cash or a check, you give my boss a buzz and you're made. How do you do, Montague, Joe, Jack and Jeremy? Right, Greer, I need someone to love and take care of me.
Sorry, cock, you won't get nothing here.
Life's melancholy, yes, it ain't very jolly when you can't get a dolly anywhere. Nobody sweeter than the fair senorita serving char at the bar over there. She's quite a raver with the charms nature gave her. All the cab drivers crave up in the fair. though every cabby says our stall's rather shabby. It's a lovely pull-up for Carmen. All together. Nobody sweeter. Nobody sweeter than the fair senorita Clara. Come on over there. She's quite the raver. The chance that you gave her all the come from straight and fair. Oh, every cabby says our stall's rather shabby. It's a lovely pull-up for Carmen.
I need a bite.
Here, who are you?
I'm Lucky Jim. I went to Ascot with my money on a cert, and I've just lost my shirt. I need cafe au lait, a little tart.
Right, walk this way, sweetheart.
Oh, strike a light, mate, what name do you bear?
I'm Jimmy White, the rich millionaire. I've come down here to find a little peace tonight.
Top flat first on the road.
I need a dish of tea and crumpets too.
Because it's for you.
This is my cap on the corner. Grabs up you fellows get fending. Prices are high in my highly desirable dwelling. Would you like to see the little goodies what I'm selling?
I wonder if I might have a peep at the menu. I'd like to see what you've got.
Certainly. I'll come out.
Here, you keep your beady eyes off, mate. I saw her first.
I don't know what you mean, I'm sure. All I'm wanting is something tasty to keep me going till I get home.
I know what you want, mate. And Carmen ain't on the menu, right?
May I look at your rock cakes, please?
Cakes is hot, try the bread and cheese.
May I glance at your plat du jour?
What's your language she's spoken for?
May I sample your sausage roll?
Do leave off or I'll lose control.
May I toy with your table d'oats?
Here, I'll punch you right up the throat.
Great, a wit!
Who is this twit?
A millionaire who's merely passing through.
A millionaire, well I declare. Hello, you cheeky little six-foot you.
She goes for me! It's plain to see.
Get off, it's me what she's referring to.
What's your tea?
The tea's on me, and later on I'll have a roll with you.
Here, hold it, Sheriff. Stand up and fight, you rotten little pest. Stand toe to toe, stand nose to chest. I know just what you want with Carmen's curves. You want to nibble her hors d'oeuvres.
I went to judo class at the co-op. Here's my karate chop.
This is done for. All on Sosco. Then make diamonds. Carmen rolls on.
Come to my gap on the corner. We'll play strip poker and rummy. Near the hospital we'll both get a little bit chummy.
You'll be my bosom friend. By and by, I intend to make Tooting Carmen a puppy.
Now it's good night from us and Erlin.
Later tonight I'll strip for Jim.
You must admire her effrontery.
Yes, it's one in the eye for me.
This tale must be retold till the notes begin. Forever and ever.
Well, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be asking what makes Ron moody, what makes Jack wild, why Barbara Castle is tickled by Vic Feather, and why Violet Carson won't perform without the aid of a net.
We'll be talking to a man from Kuwait who has bred an ostrich with a corkscrew head. You give it a fright and it drills for oil.
And here is some late news. Britain's first pregnant man complained tonight about his treatment by the press. He said, all this publicity makes me sick, especially in the mornings.
And finally, some sensational news from space. American astronauts landed on Mars tonight and encountered a native of the planet. a giant geranium with one huge eye and flippers like a seal. When they approached it, the geranium blinked its eye, flipped its flippers, burst into bloom, burst into flames, and perished. Luckily, they managed to take a film of the blinking, blooming, flipping, flaming, perishing thing. And tonight, it's a good night from me.
And it's good night from him.